Game 1 of the Subway Series, Yankees playing the Mets at Yankee Stadium after a couple days off, thanks to rainouts, and the Yankees fall by a score of 8-3. In the beginning, looked like a pitcher's duel. Jordan Montgomery looked okay. He got into trouble, but he got out with some big pitches. His changeup looked good. He had a few strikeouts on that. And Taijuan Walker absolutely carved up the Yankees. Didn't give up a hit until the 6th inning. In the 5th inning, Jordan Montgomery was pulled after getting only 1 out. And 3 runs scored. 3-0 Mets. And then in the bottom of the 5th, Yankees go down quietly. Top of the 6th, the Mets scored 5 runs off of Justin Wilson, who now has an 8.79 ERA. And at this point, yeah, he's just coming back from an injury, but he's been pretty bad all season. I think he needs to earn more leverage spots. The Yankees can't just throw him in a close game at this point. Or a close game when they have the lead at this point. Because he hasn't pitched well for them. Give me a couple good outings, and then you'll start to consider. It's 8-0 Mets. And then when they finally get hits, it's a Judge solo home run. And then Gio with a 2-run single. Finally a hit with the bases loaded. And the bases were only loaded because Miguel Castro couldn't throw a strike. So the Yankees lose 5-3. And they've now lost 6 of their last 7 games. They got swept by the Red Sox. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Angels, who are a sub-500 team. And now you lose Game 1 to the Mets. The Yankees fall down to 41-40, 10 games back in the AL East. And their offense was dead again. Boone said their season's on the line. Cashman said we suck right now. Hal Steinbrenner put the onus on the players to get better. And there was absolutely no signs of improvement. The offense, once again, is there really even anything else we can say about this offense at this point? You're 41-40, 10 games out of your division. And at this point, I think it's time to break it down. As much as I hate to say it, this team looks dead, and they've been inconsistent. You know, I think the worst thing that could happen for this team right now is they go on a run where they win 10 out of their next 12 or 13 games before the All-Star break, and then it all falls apart after that. Because they look at points when everything seems to be going well, like they're the best team in the league. And then, a week later, they're the worst team in the league. So they need to find consistency. I think this year, there's too many issues. I mean, bringing in 1 or 2 left-handed hitters isn't going to help. MLB deadening the ball at the beginning of the year certainly didn't help. So I think at this point, you get what you can for probably the only people you can get good prospects from would be Judge. Maybe you could get something for Gary and some bullpen pieces. Now, I mean, I don't want to trade Judge. If the Yankees are going to re-sign him, don't trade him. But I mean, you have to entertain the idea, especially if they know they won't re-sign him. On the bright side, Michael King looked really good over 4 innings. He struck out 9 batters. And I think Michael King is a lot better out of the bullpen than he is as a starter. I don't know if it's his mentality is different as a starter, or just he's still trying to find his stuff in the first inning. But I think going forwards, look at today's performance. He came out of the bullpen, went 4 innings, allowed a couple inherited runners to score. There was a ground ball that found a hole, but didn't allow a run of his own. Struck out 9, only walked 1. Did it on around 60 pitches. I think if you pair this guy up with an opener, that like a Chad Green, that could go 1 or 2 innings, then I think you've got a really solid option right there. And maybe when some guys get healthy, pair him up with Jameson Taillon. And the reason I say that is because Michael King's issues come in the first inning, usually. He doesn't pitch well in the first inning. After that, he's fine. And you look at Jameson Taillon, the first couple innings, usually he's fine, and then it starts to fall apart in the third, fourth, or fifth inning. So, if you could get a good first inning, or first few innings out of Jameson Taillon, and then you can bring Michael King in out of the bullpen, I mean, you could get... That's a deadly combination, potentially. So, going forwards, once their guys start getting healthy, you can't really do that right now because you need Taillon to step up as a starter. But if he doesn't, if he continues to struggle, pair him with Michael King. Have him be the opener for King, and I think that might work out well. But the Yankees lose again. They're 1-6 in their last 7, 10 games back in the East. It's just pathetic at this point. It's not even really surprising, though, is the sad thing. I mean... Alright, doubleheader tomorrow. I'll probably just do a recap of both games in one video after both games are played. The Yankees need to show up tomorrow. You can't lose a series to the Mets. It's embarrassing. Like, it was embarrassing when you got swept by the Red Sox. It'll be embarrassing if you lose this series to the Mets. They're your crosstown rivals. You can't just not show up. You can't just play poorly through this 3-game set. So, have a good rest of your day, everybody. I'm gonna call it.